Next, let's just get started on the navigation bar. So first thing we're going to do is wrap this all in a navigation view. That, so just put the list in the navigation view, and then we're just going to create a new struct down here and call it NavigationBar, and that will be of type toolbar content. And in here, this needs a body, and then inside the body, let's just create a back button for now. So toolbar item, and the placement will be top bar leading. So this just aligns the item obviously to the leading edge of the top bar. And then for the content, let's just delete this automatically created closure, and we're just going to put a button in here, and the button isn't actually going to do anything. It's just going to print go back, and then let's just define a label for the button, image left arrow, and that's going to be resizable as well, so we can set a size, rendering mode, template, foreground color white, and frame 18 by 18. And then let's just set text as well here, 9, color white, and then font is body. So this will be the back button. SwiftUI provides us with this toolbar content protocol, and this basically allows us to create a struct representing a reusable toolbar. So we can define our toolbar UI in here and then just use that wherever we want in our app. To get this toolbar actually displaying, what we need to do is come down here, toolbar, and then set that equal to NavigationBar. Right, so you can see that it's got a clear background, and then when we scroll down, the background colour is a sort of light grey colour. It's quite easy to fix that. We just need to go below toolbar and set toolbar background. Colour will be colour dark grey, and it's for navigation bar. Great, okay, so when we scroll down we can see that it's the correct colour, but then we just need to set a couple more modifiers. So we need to set toolbar background as .visible, and again for navigation bar, and that stops it going transparent when we reach the top, so it's always visible on the screen. Like we did for the message view, let's just pull this item out into its own property just before we start adding other things. So back button is equal to some toolbar content, put it in there. So next let's add the video call button and the phone call button. So I suppose for that they'll be pretty similar to this back button here. So we can just copy this video call button, and instead of leading it's going to be top bar trailing, and we can just print video call. The image is going to be video, and we can just get rid of this text, and let's just change the height to 28 by 28. We can just copy this and paste it down here because the phone call button is going to be very similar. The image is going to be called phone call. I think the image for this one's actually called video call. So we can just go phone call button and video call button. Oops, no, the image is just called video for video call, so we can remove that. And you should see both icons appear. Let's add our user details section in the middle here. For that we can just copy one of these properties and we'll call it user details. Copy the toolbar item part as well. We want it to be displayed centrally in the navigation bar, so we can change the placement to principal, and then let's just call it up here just so we can preview what we're actually doing. So first thing we're going to do is create a horizontal stack view in the image, and the image name we can just get it from the data source, so data source .firstuser.avatar. Image needs to be resizable, and let's just set an explicit width and height, so 40 by 40, and the alignment as dot center. And then let's just round the corners of this as well. We can just set a clip shape, as we've done before, as rounded rectangle, and set it to be 20. It's half the width and height, so it'll give you a circular image, as we can see there. There's just some other things we need to add on the screen as well. Let's add our user's name, so we can get that from the data source as well. Data source .firstUser.name. Set a foreground color as .white. Set a font weight, semi-bold, and set a frame max width of infinity, and a leading alignment as well. And let's just copy this text down here and set this text to be tap here for contact info. Obviously in a real world app you wouldn't hard code a string like this. This would be stored in some kind of localizable, but we're not worrying about translations. Let's set the color as color dot light grey, font as dot footnote, and then on the H stack let's just add a little bit of bottom padding as well, just to bump it up. Padding dot bottom, and set that to 8. Cool. And you can see when we scroll everything looks fine, but when we scroll right up to the top it kind of does this like weird stretching thing, and that's easy to fix. It's just a one line fix up here. We can just set NavigationTitleDisplayMode as .inline, and that'll fix that. Last thing we're going to do is just break this navigation bar out into its own file, because it's looking a bit cluttered here, so we can just create a new Swift file called NavigationBar, then just cut everything out of here and put it in here, and remember just to import SwiftUI. And just personal preference here, but I would rather break all of these properties out into a separate extension, and that just keeps everything clean.